Welcome everyone to the What's Left podcast. John here with Jake and Brad. We are the punk rock garage band podcast, adding our voice to resistance as loudly as we can here on the Derealization Nation Media Network, the ever-growing Derealization Nation Media Network, which is thanks to you and nothing else. Because trust me, the algorithm does not like the shit that we have to say. It is not happening on its own. It's happening because of you. That's because you like and subscribe, and you share our stuff, and you find it on TikTok, Instagram, and Threads. And I know because it shows up in random places, and I didn't put it there. So somebody did. So thank you guys for being a big part of what we're building here, and we're gonna get into this. We got a lot to talk about. Um, I gotta start. This is gonna get weird because we got Epstein file stuff, new stuff, fresh stuff. I mean, nothing's fresh. We know what it is. But there is a young man named Sascha Riley who came forward to a reporter because he feels that the release is taking too long. He is an Iraq War veteran. He uh, he says that his not only does his testimony, which is evidence, by the way, like all these news outlets always say, "Well, there's no evidence of any wrongdoing with Trump." When these people testify against Trump, when these people have written affidavits against Trump in the Epstein files, that's evidence. That's what evidence is. But on top of that evidence, he claims that there is also corroborating evidence of what he says in the unreleased files. And what he says is that as a child, he was adopted for the purposes of sex trafficking. His father figure person was a pilot who worked for Trump and Epstein. He makes no distinction between the two that I can tell. Obviously there are hours of his testimony that I have not gleaned through, but uh, his dad worked for them. He committed murders, cover-ups on their behalf, as well as flying their planes and helicopters. Before he was trafficked among the Epstein class, he was trafficked among his relatives at 6 years old. From 9 to 13, he was passed around the Trump Epstein organization, where he was forced to perform in pornographic videos. Um, One such video was found on someone whom he served with on their phone or on their person. I forget which. I'm sorry, but was found with that person uh, years later. He also claims that they would, and this has been speculated, but this would be like the first piece of evidence to that effect. But that they made snuff films, and for those of you who are lucky enough not to know what that is a pornography that ends with the death of the participant. Uh, 10 to 12 such films of young girls that he knows of. Uh, his testimony says he witnessed one in person and heard another in the room next door and was reassured, "Don't worry, boys are hard to find." Among the people he names are Jim Jordan, who covered up sex abuse at the Ohio State University, Andy Biggs, Lindsey Graham, and Clarence Thomas, the Supreme Court Justice. Um, Guys, in light of this new stuff about these fucking pigs, um, it's just hard to believe that the President of the United States is this guy and that he has yet to be arrested.
it's it's astonishing. Like I don't even know. I don't know how much more we need. Like, do we think that Sasha Riley's like, "Hi, I would like to endure endless ridicule from MAGA mouth breathers for the rest of my life for this made up story," or do you think that he's willing for this persecution because this is reality, this is the truth? He's willing to speak his truth because Donald Trump has abused children for who knows how long,
Yeah,
and we let the justice system do what they were supposed to do, and they failed us. So now people are speaking out.
yeah, yeah. I mean, imagine, Jake, if we had this information about literally any other person on the planet, like certainly their door would be kicked in, they'd be dragged out and questioned by now, right? Or you know,
Yeah, clearly. I'm so confused on the whole thing that we've had access to these files for years and years, and we know multiple people were involved and multiple people were. I don't know why people weren't combing through them already and already doing more than what they've been doing completely in a whole. So, like, we know there's other names in these files. We know that there's other people who've been doing things for a long time now, and none of it has been brought to light. So, like, obviously, they do not care about getting justice for these people or making these people be accountable because of who they are or whatever. So it's pretty obvious like they're not going to do anything until Trump says, "Oh, sure," which he never will. You know what I mean? Like this is not something that's going to happen overnight.
no. It is truly astonishing. It makes you wonder when you hear about like, okay, so Jim Jordan, like, he was caught years ago, like this guy was abusing kids at older kids, but kids at the Ohio State University. And he's still allowed to, and he ran for Congress. Like he had the balls to run for Congress. Lindsey Graham, who has, a lot of people have told some bad stories about Lindsey Graham. And Lindsey Graham is clearly like an evil person. Like when you see this man talk about like killing people in war and how excited he gets with his little rat teeth, like it's crazy. You already know that this is an evil person. But if you were working in law enforcement and you saw people like Lindsey Graham and Jim Jordan ascendant in areas of power and didn't whistleblow. Like I'm more and more and I think maybe this is the point you were getting at, Jay. I'm just like blown away by how many people just didn't say anything. Somebody filed that shit away
Mhm.
and they weren't like, "Oh my God, like this is bad. Holy fuck," right?
Right. Like there's a whole ass island where all this shit was happening and we only care about one person.
Yeah.
That's bullshit. There's more than one person on that goddamn island. There wasn't just him. You know what I mean? Like,
It
we're not
charged
curious, at least. Like, you weren't even a little bit like, who else was involved?
yeah.
There has to be more to it.
You never hear of a drug dealer getting dragged into court for selling drugs to himself, but that's what they want you to believe that Epstein was doing with kids.
Hmm.
Trafficking kids to himself. I personally, it's a little bit too far-fetched for me.
The people in positions of power are never held accountable because even the people that should be whistleblowing, their patriotism is to government and it is not to country. It is not to neighbor. It is to government. The same way with what we're seeing with the incident in Minneapolis when they murder a U.S. citizen. They are on the side of the government. They are not on the side of the people.
That's just wild as fuck. That's as clean. I don't know any other way to make a transition happen from one horrific thing to the next. But let's talk a little bit about Minneapolis for a second. A military operation on a U.S. city that was started with racist lies told by this fucking loser right here. Listen to him on this fucking podcast try to make himself out as some kind of goddamn victim now.
They came after me. They came after my family. They doxed my entire family.
How did they come after you? Be specific.
Well, they tried to come after me. They tried to debunk all my whole entire story. They then
Who's they?
all the news,
Would you just get more
CNN.
specific? CNN? Who within CNN?
CBS.
Who's the reporter?
I don't even know her name because she's irrelevant. Nobody knows who she is.
That's why we have military in the streets. That fucking loser right there.
He sums them up. Victim mentality. Oh,
Yeah.
they debunked my story. Well, that's because you're a fucking liar.
Right. It wasn't hard to
Like,
debunk because it's a motherfucking lie. Also, and they just Thule did the classic, like the classic MAGA, like let me fall back on one of Trump's go-tos. Oh, nobody knows who they are. No, nobody knows. Nobody's ever heard of her. That's why. What a fucking bitch. And there was one just a couple hours ago too. They keep sending these C-list celebrities, MAGA celebrities out to Minnesota to rile up the crowd, and then ICE comes out to defend, like surrounds them, like they're gonna fucking defend them or something, while they shout racist shit at the crowd, and the crowd just fucking. Well, the one I was watching, they just shouted them down, called them a bunch of fascist fucking pigs, which they are. And by the way, if you're listening and you're MAGA, and you probably are because this is YouTube, uh, you got you and your fat fucking fascist pig cunt bitch of a president are on the wrong side of history. No matter what you say or how you try to justify what's happening, you're wrong, just wrong. And I'm gonna keep fucking saying it as long as I have to. And I don't care. You just keep coming in the comments and sounding like a fucking fascist. Keep coming in these comments and talking about how great Donald Trump is, how great the man who snuffs little kids is. You fucking pathetic losers. Your president's a bitch, a whole bitch. I just had to get that out. I don't know. You talk about this stuff, it like bubbles under the surface. It just like rises up out of you. You just got to let it go, though. You get a little steam off so we can get back to the newsy part.
Dude, when we did the Thursday episode, it took everything in me not to like really say some crazy stuff.
Yeah. Yeah, because I mean, they deserve all of the smoke and all of the wild things to be said about them. Everything. Everything. You don't deserve a nice word. You don't deserve a fucking kind look. You don't deserve a warm hug. You deserve nothing. I hope you stay lonely. I hope every time you go to jerk off, your hand's asleep. I just, you're a despicable, horrible, god awful human being. So anyway, they're still telling the same lies today on the news. Kristi Noem, uh, there was like a debate online. Should they be platforming her at all? Should they even ask her questions? And so I decided that was probably the right side. So I decided we're not going to listen to anything that she said. But what she did say was that she was right, that everything that she had said was the truth, and everything that we believed is a lie, and that you can't trust the government. And then when it was pointed out to her that she's the government, she said, "Yeah, that's what I'm saying." So I guess we agree with Kristi Noem that we can't trust her. Um, she is hands down one of the most evil people on the fucking planet. And it should be no surprise if you kill pets, like that's what serial killer, like that's how serial killers also grow up. It's not a good sign. It's not a good sign. And we should know.
She should not be anywhere in any authoritarian position.
She shouldn't be around other human beings. She should be locked away somewhere. Jake, why are you laughing so hard off camera?
Think of the part from South Park where brings me up. I don't know why.
They did a whole like side thing. They knew too. They know too. They did that whole like side part of the episode where it's just her like
Just random dog.
blowing puppies away.
She's an
Just
evil, evil person. So funny.
yeah, just an absolute fucking evil bitch. Evil bitch. Uh and you know, out here and it's just the amount of money that they've spent too. Like just think about like this operation is costing millions of dollars a day. They gave billions of dollars to ICE. And now they want fucking more goddamn money. They haven't even gotten to spending what they already have. They have a budget bigger than most militaries, and they want more. They want more for the war budget. And Schumer and Jeffries won't commit to picking a fight over ICE. In fact, we got people like Slotkin and other Democrats are out here like, well, you know, ICE. They don't want to give up ICE because they want ICE to be there when they're there. Like, let's not forget like how much, and I said at the time, and I've said I'm on record. You know, all my everything I say is on record, I guess now, but how bad that fucking border bill was that they were touting. It sucked. It was a Republican plan. It got no concessions for Democrats. Complete and utter betrayal of every immigrant community in our country. The only good thing it did was spend a little bit of money on judges to speed things up. but it was trash. Like the Democrats have abandoned this issue to Republicans, and that's why we're here. And they do not want to fight. They do not want to pick this fight. And I don't know if it's because they think that this is a an election issue, which is probably it, or if this is more just a donors issue, which is also you know a big part of it. So I don't know. You guys think this is about keeping power? Like why the fuck would you choose at this moment to back up ICE?
Cowardly, number
Yeah,
one. Number two is they are are essentially pandering at this point. Like
yeah,
everything that they've done in opposition has just all been a lie.
yeah,
Like, you know what I mean? Like they don't they the same people that support ICE are being lobbied by the same people that don't support ICE.
mm-hmm,
You know what I mean? So
mm-hmm.
they're not saying anything because they're still lining their pockets because when it comes to some issues, such as war, there is no difference in the system. The system is
Yeah.
paying both of them.
Whether that war's here or overseas
Exactly.
makes no difference to them.
Yes. The lobbies are paying both sides.
Yeah. Jake, how do you read it?
Also just doubling down, like they know they're too far gone. They've created a monster. No, they don't know how to deal with it. So they just back it up, back it up, back it up.
Yeah. Afraid of it? Yeah. Spineless cowards. Yeah.
Yep.
I agree. I wholeheartedly agree with all of that analysis. I would also say too, though, that like it's not just like uh you know this they don't mind ICE. They don't mind authoritarian power. Like they didn't these are the same people who are responsible for not prosecuting George W. Bush. You know what I mean? Like this is the same mindset that was like, nah, we're gonna hold on to that power because we like it. It's the same people they like this Venezuela shit because oh Maduro's a bad guy. You got bad guys all over the world. Like you can't be fucking running in and toppling every bad guy on the fucking planet just because they're a little bit we don't have that kind of we don't have that the kind of resources, kind of power, and then you just obviously create more problems. And that's what's happening in Venezuela now. You've got this we're running the show, right? But also the U.S. Travel Department or whatever it's called puts out a statement telling U.S. citizens that they should avoid traveling to Venezuela and leave if they're there already, because roving gangs are roaming the streets and militarized gangs are roaming the streets, stopping people at checkpoints and digging out American citizens. So I have so many fucking questions. If first of all, if the Venezuelans are so goddamn happy to have Maduro gone and Trump there, how do you sustain paying protesters? How do you astroturf protesters for every day since thousands and thousands of protesters in the street? Why are they hunting American citizens? Shouldn't are they to give them awards? Like we just really want to thank you so much. If this Machado lady was so fucking popular, why did they have to sneak her out of the fucking country? Also, the guy that she wasn't even the one who got elected, it was this Mundo Gonzalez guy. And how do you install democracy? This is such a fucking problem. You cannot install a democracy. A democracy, by definition, isn't installed. Authoritarianism is installed. So, like, if you install a democratic fucking friendly dictator, you've still installed a dictator. Like, we're just your guy instead of theirs. And this person, this Rodriguez person, is around the country now. It's close with Russia. It's the same Maduro regime. They did nothing. They failed at even being evil, you know? Like they are the Scott evil of fucking evil presidents, and this is just a complete and I just don't believe a goddamn word of any of it. Is this any of this? This stuff is suspicious as fuck, right? Like I'm not like wearing a tinfoil hat here. This is just weird, right?
Oh yeah, real weird. Very on brand,
Yeah.
but weird nonetheless. Because this is not the first time we've seen them, try to install democracy into a country. Because it's kind of our MO.
Yeah. Yeah. I, we're running short on time, but I want to get a couple of videos in here. So what we're going to watch, what I read as passive aggressive negotiation. It's been analyzed a few different ways, but this is how I see it. Here's an oil executive telling Trump basically that you're going to pay for the infrastructure and to secure the area.
If we look at the legal and commercial constructs and frameworks in place today in Venezuela, today it's uninvestable. And so significant changes have to be made to those commercial frameworks, the legal system. There has to be durable investment protections, and there has to be a change to the hydrocarbon laws in the country. We're confident that with this administration and President Trump working hand in hand with the Venezuelan government, that those changes can be put in place.
Yeah. So government's going to do it. You're going to take care of it. Now watch how Trump responds in this passive aggressive game of bad checkers.
Come to think of it, well, I got to look at this myself. Wow. What a view. This is the door to the bar. Unusual time to look, but I figure we might as well.
You guys read it like I read it?
Sundowners.
No. Well, okay. That's one way to read it. That is a very popular analysis, okay? I will give you that. The way I see it, though, is oil executives want the government to pay for security in Venezuela, and they want them to pay for the infrastructure in Venezuela, and Trump wants them to bribe him.
That's exactly what it was.
Yeah. That's how I see it. I just don't see any other way to read that interaction.
Yeah, P.S. There's no ballroom being built. He was literally staring out into the.
You're right. Yeah, there's nothing to look at. It's a bunch of yellow tape and an empty hole where the East Wing used to be. All right. One last thing before we go. Okay. This is Keith Porter's mom. Keith Porter Jr. is the other, one of the other people. There's several, 9 total. But over New Year's Eve was killed by ICE, shot by an off-duty ICE officer who responded off-duty to a firearm just because Keith was shooting his gun allegedly at the midnight on New Year's Eve, allegedly. But this officer obviously has no jurisdiction to begin with because he's not an officer, and should not have been responding off duty, and then shot and murdered this man.
And Keith Porter, he did not deserve this. Keith Porter was a wonderful soul. His heart was big. He had a big heart. He loved so hard. He loved so deep. Anyone who came in contact with Keith loved him. He was a joy. He was a jokester. He was my baby. He was a father, a cousin, an uncle. And he always said, family over everything. It meant the most to him. My baby called me every morning to say, good morning, Mom, I love you. Every day before he went to work, just to say, Mom, I love you. How's your day? He loved his daughter. He loved me so much. I miss my child. He does not deserve this. His Home Depot family, I'm so grateful to them. He loved unconditionally. He never argued. He wasn't a gossip. He was the one that brought people together with love and unity. He was the type of person, if there was no anger, he always brought joy into the room. He commanded the room and he made you feel special. Everybody had a name, and it was from love, joy. He loved to cook. He'd come to your house. He would just ram your refrigerator and just cook a meal. And he just wanted happiness. He wanted everybody to just be filled with joy. He would say, I don't care, Mom, if I have $1 in my pocket, you would never know it because I'm a millionaire. Because I'm going to walk just like that. I'm going to let everybody know I am that person. I'm going to put my clothes on and I'm just going to love. I'm spiritual. I love God. And I love everybody, and there's a lot of people out there that love me, and I know it. So I just want you to know, please, justice for my baby. He does not deserve this, please. This person hurt my child, and he would never hurt anybody he loved so hard. He rescued animals. He worked with disabled children. He helped raise kids in foster families. He was such a joy. His heart was so big. His heart was so big. He didn't deserve this. He was on his way back to say, Mommy, I love you. Happy New Year. He didn't even get to pop his champagne. He didn't get to say goodbye. I just want to touch my baby one last time, kiss his face and hold him. I don't have him. His life was snatched from us, Lord. Please, I just wish you could get justice for my child. Oh, please get justice for my baby.
Say his name!
Keith Porter!
Say his name!
Keith Porter!
Say his name!
Keith Porter!
Keith Porter. We'll be back. All right, welcome back, John, Jacob, Brad. We are the Punk Rock Garage Band podcast. It's time to do a little palate cleanse. Check out our interview with activist Steve Hill. That was fun. We also have conspiracy night, so it's time to talk a little conspiracy theory. Some of it theory, some of it, actualized reality. But let's start with who wants to start?
I'll start.
Okay.
Given the light of current events and things of that nature, and us kidnapping presidents of foreign countries, my conspiracy theory is the overthrow of Muammar Gaddafi in Libya in 2011. They said that it was to stop an evil dictator. Kind of right on brand for what they're doing right now. Essentially, what they're saying is that Libya was present-day United States with a dictator running the country. So they overthrew him. Conspiracy theories say that Gaddafi was actually overthrown because Gaddafi was trying to create a gold-backed African currency to basically circumvent the dollar or eliminate the dollar. And as you know, we're not going to let that happen. So they decided to overthrow Gaddafi, saying that it was for the people of Libya. However, after the overthrow of Muammar Gaddafi, there was a 7-year civil war in Libya because there were conflicting powers, because surprisingly enough, when you install democracy, not everybody wanted you to be there. So there was a UN-backed government, the National Unity, which was the GNU, and a rival authority in the east led by General Khalifa Haftar, leading to the prolonged conflict. There was multiple militias in the streets. It created like a security vacuum. There was no central authority. So there were militias, armed factions, and gangs flourished pretty much in a country with no leadership. The infrastructure crumbled, investment froze, and the economy suffered immensely, impacting daily life. The humanitarian crisis afterwards. Libya basically became a transit route for migrants with severe abuse, while citizens face ongoing crises. And we know that we had a hand in it. The French had a hand in it. But at the end of the day, it was not to liberate the people of Libya. It was merely to stop Libya and Gaddafi from creating a currency that could rival the dollar. So regardless of the stories we've been told, there was actually a lot of support for Gaddafi amongst his people, because even though he was a dictator, many people in his country began to flourish. Under extreme authoritarian rule, there was a selected class that flourished, just like anywhere. In our country, under authoritarian rule, billionaires continue to profit. In Libya, oil companies continue to profit. So there was a huge discord, I guess, if that's what you want to call it, because the regime that was overthrown was solely to allow America to continue to profit on oil and allow the dollar to still be the universal currency. Because if you don't have a central bank in your country, I promise you we're coming. We might not be there yet, but if you don't have a central bank yet, I promise you we're going to deliver one. Because that's what the United States does. We like to deliver central banks.
Yeah.
So Gaddafi was overthrown because they wanted their resources, and it was not about the people. It's never about the people because they don't care about people.
Yeah, I mean, and it's still a mess over there today. If there's a ceasefire, I think currently, but civil war still goes on. I think I think isn't the slave? I believe the slave trade is still active in Libya. I mean, it's just a complete and utter disaster. Gaddafi was a cult of personality. The people that loved him. So, like, in a way, he kept those countries together. He talked about things that, conspiracy theorists love, though, like unified Africa, anti-Israel. So, I mean, he was all of those things, supported Arab nations, but also was on the bad side, I guess, too, was also kind of like a racist against certain ethnic minorities in his country. But a lot of the money that he got from the oil got put back into the country, and that's what the USA just does not stand for. You know what I mean? So
Right.
it's not about like there's always like yes, there's always the bad, but like it's never about that piece of it, is it? It's always about the money for us, or the ways we make the money.
It's always about right. Yeah. It's always about the revenue.
Yeah. Which is why mine is the banana wars. Which for people who don't know, like this President Trump is not the first president to go to war, obviously, over resources. But perhaps the most ridiculous of resources, or ridiculous sounding of resources that we've ever gone to war over was bananas. We went in 1898. We began wars in Central America and the Caribbean over the banana trade. Wars in Nicaragua, Haiti, military occupation. We created the phrase police action to describe what we did. And these went on until 1934, when President Franklin Delano Roosevelt also ended those. But the reason that we did this was so that one banana company, the United Fruit Company, now Chiquita Bananas, it was the United Fruit Company was the big lobby at the time. They literally owned the whole islands, like they owned these things, so these whole republics. And so the term banana republic comes from the idea that the banana company owned like Honduras, owned like they owned the trains, they owned the infrastructure, they owned everything inside of these whole countries. These whole countries were built for banana companies. And so the term banana wars was popularized in 1983 to describe this odd point in American history. But it's something that the United States has done over and over again. And when Roosevelt ended it in 1934, he called it his good neighbor policy. And that is just something that the United States has just not been in this side of the world for a long time. And we had begun to make some reparation and give some freedoms back to some of these places. But now we are just doubling down. The stuff that we have to, we just never deal with the fact that like we created crisis in Haiti. We created crisis in Libya. We're creating crisis in Venezuela and have created crisis in Venezuela in the past. Like the people who come to our country don't just come for some reason. They love this country more than we do, even though we are the ones who are responsible for fucking up the place they lived in the first goddamn place. It's absolutely astonishing, and they care more about this country than we do. And we're out here just dragging them through the mud, literally attacking them, trying to take them to third countries that they rendition them to countries they've never even been to or languages they don't speak. And it all started, the precedent was set with goddamn bananas. With fucking bananas. That is how deeply unserious capitalism is. What a death cult capitalism is.
Could you imagine bringing that to the table today, guys?
Yeah. Hear me out.
Yeah.
Bananas.
Now we're just tariffing it at 150%.
Right. Yeah. Oh my God. And like literally this came to mind because I couldn't find bananas yesterday. And then Jake goes to a different store, still can't find bananas. There's no bananas.
Banners.
What is wrong? Who's running these republics nowadays? Unbelievable. All right, Jake, take
Good
us
thing the
home.
president only drinks Diet Coke, or he'd be pissed off if he was trying to get smoothies and couldn't get bananas.
Oh my God. Yeah. That man has never sniffed a fruit or vegetable in his entire life. Entire life. If you hear like the description of how much McDonald's he eats, it's disgusting. It's absolutely disgusting. That's why he takes the extra aspirin to keep his blood extra thin.
I remember some YouTubers did his diet his first term, like what he eats in a day. And dude, as a fatty, I was disgusted.
Yeah. It's vile. Like it's no like he is white trash. Like he like moved to Florida and fits in Florida better than he ever fit in New York. For sure. Just a trashy swamp creature.
That's crazy how we're talking about swamp creatures because my conspiracy theory is Loveland, Ohio Frogman. So this conspiracy theory takes place in Loveland, Ohio. It's about a 4-foot tall frog that roams the marshes on its hind legs. There have been sightings dated back to 1955 and the most recent in 2016. So the description of this frogman is a green frog-like creature that stands about 3 to 4 feet tall with webbed hands and feet, and sometimes seen with a wand emitting sparks.
Has he ever been spotted with a bear with a bow tie?
No, actually has not. Can you give me the ability to share and I'll show you what he looks like?
Oh yeah, absolutely.
Of course. So let's go over the sightings. So the first sighting is in 1955, where a businessman reported seeing 3 of them on the roadside, one holding a wand. Now this is 1955, so there wasn't a lot like based on this. But in 1972, 2 police officers at different times. The first police officer, Ray Shockey, was driving on Riverside Drive when a frogman scurried across the road and then stood up on his back legs to go over the guardrail. And then 2 weeks later, another police officer goes out on the same road and sees it again. He actually shoots at it and misses. So 2 police officers have seen this. And then in the most recent, in 2016, Sam Jacobs, while playing Pokemon Go, crazy, right? Pokemon Go, near the banks of the Lake Isabel, goes out and sees. And he actually posted a picture. This is in the news, too. Like, this was a news story, Jacobs. And this is a photo he sent of the frogman. Now, this one does not have a wand emitting sparks, but I did gather some other images. Maybe iguana in 1955. This is where it would have been seen. That's his footage, yeah.
Yeah.
I think in 1955, doctors were still prescribing cocaine, so like this actually checks out.
It could be real, right? I know. Here's another one, maybe him crossing the guardrail.
So give it a thumbs up.
This one I would assume is the one with the wand emitting sparks.
That does seem to be a wand emitting sparks. Also, why is he wearing jeans?
Not sure, but it may be a future tattoo of mine.
Yeah. No doubt. I love the pager too. He's got the jeans and the pager on.
So to this day, people of Loveland, Ohio will back this. There's been a movie created by it by one of the men, I think, who've seen it in 1972, was one of the filmmakers in that film. Yes.
Gotta have accuracy.
It's actually a horror film, and I'm actually gonna try and watch it. I don't know where to find it, but
Yeah, no, we gotta look this up.
Frogman.
I gotta lay eyes on this thing. That's incredible. Good dig. Like
Thank you.
that's a weird one.
I know.
We're from Ohio. Brad, had you heard of this one before?
I have not, as an Ohioan. I have not, and I've heard some fun conspiracy theories in Ohio.
Yeah. We got the Mothman next door in West Virginia. I knew about that one. That one's probably real.
Maybe each state has a different being. Like, like Bigfoot, isn't that out in like Washington?
Yeah.
And then
Well, that's what makes
Yeti.
it makes it sus though, because it's like, it makes for good tourism, like they put a giant wooden Mothman up in a fucking museum
I
and
would
then
say that, but who's going to Loveland, Ohio?
literally no one, but maybe two or three extra people now because of the frog. And
Maybe. For them to be able to put this on their daily news cycle, like there's not much going on there.
yeah, I was gonna say it's in the news because there was nothing else
For this
there.
to be the first thing that popped up when I searched it, come on now.
But it's little towns like that, there's a serial killer in them. You know what I mean? They're like visiting the city, dragging victims back for sure. Like, yeah. No news here, just frogmen. Absolutely wild. Well, that was a nice palate cleanse. That was good. I feel better already. I mean, not necessarily about democracy or anything like that, but just generally speaking. All right. Well, thank you all for watching, listening, liking, sharing all of our stuff. Again, this is not stuff that just gets out of the algorithm by itself. It's there because you push it there. So we thank you for that and the ever-growing Derealization Nation. We love you guys. We'll see you in the comments. Until next time, I'm John.
I'm Jake.
And I'm Brad.
And that's what's left.
For those of you that said Donald Trump wasn't like other Republicans, he has now posted the worst job numbers for a single year since the last Republican that was in office that wasn't Donald Trump.